How many egg rolls did you have to sneak and eat?
Oh
Did
my
I tell you
God.
it was so many egg
Not the
rolls?
egg rolls, guys.
It had to be in the double digits, like legitimately in the double digits.
God.
It was insane.
Hi, I'm Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet. As you could tell, I'm a big Goosebumps fan, so I'm really excited to meet you guys
Love it, love
and
it.
get into this new season. This season obviously pulls from several different Goosebumps books. Did you have a favorite one that you guys got to tap into?
Wow. I mean, Stay Out of the Basement is such a classic. We started with that. That's the first
Yeah.
we jumped straight into that one. I put that very high up on my list of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the most fun for me, just because we have a lot of interaction with that,
Yeah.
and that pushes forward the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
Um,
jumpstarts everything.
Yeah,
Goes
yeah,
on.
yes,
Stay Out of
indeed.
the Basement definitely serves as like a catalyst for this new season. So getting able to like read that and just like seeing all the Easter eggs that are put into the season is really great.
Oh, that's what I love. The little Easter eggs, those little details.
The car.
The haunted car.
Yeah, the haunted car. I mean, I think they were so cool too. I think all the stuff that we got to see, even just behind the scenes stuff with all of that was really cool and interesting working on a show like this. I've never had the opportunity to do sort of green screen and see stunts and stuff like that. And the car stuff was pretty out there.
Maybe Camp Nightmare? I don't know. Or actually, no. Honestly, I want to say the first one, Stay Out of the Basement. I think because it's in the Brewer home, and that basement was so much fun to film in, and it was so cool, and a lot goes down. And it kind of just kicks off the whole show. I'm gonna go with Stay Out of the Basement.
David, I gotta say, the gasp I gasped when we realized that Anthony was Stink. I loved it. I wanted to know if you could tell us a little bit about how you used his past to influence him in this season and the way that he protects his kids.
The character, it starts in series where we don't really know the tragic past that has affected the whole family. I guess Anthony in particular, who lost his older brother back in '94. But when these guys go kind of on their adventure, they start to unravel a mystery that we then realize is connected to that tragic mystery of the past. He's definitely an overprotective parent because of that,
Yes.
and I'm sure it was quite annoying to these guys. Yeah, I guess being a parent myself now of a teenager, I don't think you ever stop worrying about your kids. So that in series now, that was just magnified tenfold, because the stuff they were getting into was really frightening.
Even though Devin and Cece are twins, they have a lot of differences. I feel like we see, especially in this first episode, Devin kind of feels like he doesn't have things going for him. Cece is a little bit of an overachiever. I'd love to hear how you guys developed your characters and also how you built a bond playing twins.
Amazing question. Beautiful. I think our characters, like on the outside, they come off kind of as polar opposites. And I think with developing our characters, we kind of, they both start at this spot. Like Devin kind of is figuring it out. I think Cece kind of is over figuring it out and is overdoing it. And so, for me with building Cece, academics was a huge part of my life. So I really related to that about her. And I think she struggles with perfectionism and a lot of inner turmoil. So I think that I really looked into my own mental things I've gone through and used references from that. But regarding our relationship, it was easy. I mean,
it wasn't it was easy. It was interesting. I think sometimes when you're working with talented people, the dynamic starts to create itself a little bit. But we just kind of showed up, and that was there pretty quick.
Yeah.
I wish I could say, I grabbed a frog and then the hair of a unicorn and mixed it together, and we were a family. But it kind of just emerged, that dynamic. Building the character, That's a tough question to answer. I think the way I'd go about necessarily building a character is I'd read a script a lot of times and I notice a moment or how Devin maybe reacts to anything really. And then I'd basically ask myself, okay, what do I know about? What do I know about rejection, or what do I know about wanting approval, or any of these things that I'm thinking about the first episode now. I'd ask myself those questions, and then I'd go to sleep and I'd read the script again, and then hopefully something happens.
I'd love to dive deeper into each of your characters as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the dude CJ, he's a fun-loving guy, right? He's got a lot of personality to him, and sometimes that can be a lot for the characters. But because of that, he quickly makes friends with everybody, and I think that we see a deep connection that he ends up finding with the group overall, and especially with Cece, who he identifies quickly too. So yeah, I think a lot of fun stuff coming there.
How many egg rolls did you have to sneak and eat?
Did I tell you it was so many egg
Not
rolls?
the egg rolls, guys.
It had to be in the double digits, like legitimately in the double digits. It was insane.
I love that. I love that.
Frankie's kind of like caught up in this like dilemma between these like two guys, and she could be a little indecisive, but I truly think that it's because she just really cares for the both of them, and I think that they each represent something different for her. You know, Trey represents that like safety of growing up in the neighborhood, and Devin is like, oh, who's this new guy who could take me on these adventures and stuff. And so she truly does have so much love for the both of them, and that was really interesting, kind of trying to like channel like each different side of this. So yeah, it was really fun to play.
I mean, when we meet him, he's a bit of a bully, but at the core of it, at the deep core of it, there's a good guy, I think, somewhere in there. But we see him kind of grow as the season goes, because at one point he's kind of forced to look at who he is and become a better person. And we'll see that growth, I think. He's a man in development.
Jen she's from the hood. She has never really left. She has a complicated relationship with her daughter. I think as a law enforcement officer who has a daughter who's a real rule breaker, a real sort of a rebel, they clash a lot, which is really, it was exciting for me to play because I thought we got some really juicy stuff. And I think Francesca's just so brilliant. So it was really fun to be in those scenes and to play that drama. And as far as my character, like I said, I've never left the neighborhood. David's character has, and he comes back. We have a past that sort of has, we have a reckoning for sure that you'll see in the coming episodes that has to deal with family and drama and secrets. So Jen has a lot of stuff that she's keeping close to her vest that will all be revealed.
I would say Alex she's a little rapscallion. She's the little stink in her life. I don't know. Alex is she's kind of made some choices that I don't agree with. But she has a lot of heart, and she's a little bit kooky sometimes. She's a bit of a dick sometimes. I don't know if I can say that. Yeah, but she gets herself into some stuff, and she has to really test her mettle, which I really enjoyed playing.
Yeah, she's the rebel of the show.
I am the rebel of the show. Really
in this first episode, you're the one who really gets to experience a lot of the supernatural elements first. So what was it like filming that and sort of getting to jump into that as the first?
Oh my God.
Episode?
Well, I don't want to give away too much of even the first episode, but there are several stunts in the first episode that, you're shooting TV, you shoot maybe 4 or 5-ish pages a day. At least here we did. There would be stuff here that took up a third of a page or 2/3 of a page that we shot for 12 hours. It's fun, but it's also like, oh my God, this is a lot of work.
Dragged around a little bit.
Perhaps literally, you'll see. Yeah, it was. I mean, we all get to do that a little bit. I got to, I got put under the razor first, but
Yeah, it was the guinea pig.
Yeah, the guinea pig a little, but Yeah, no, it's fun. It's weird. It's kind of like this is why I'm coming into work to do this.
I know, Francesca, for you, this is your first horror project. Is this also your first horror project, Anna, or have you?
I think so,
So,
except for raising my own children.
Stop.
so with it being your first horror projects, like, how do you like tap into that? I can imagine like, watching a horror thing is usually pretty scary, but when you're in it, it's probably really funny because there's a lot of weird things that go on to make it scary for us. So was there anything on set that you were just like, that was so ridiculous?
Oh my God, so many things. So frick, I can't say the ending obviously was
Right.
ridiculous. But I guess to the car point, it's really ridiculous because we have all these men who are like standing on the car like levees and they're jumping up and down like these grown-ass men with these beards. And I'm watching them and I'm like, and that was really fun.
Yeah. I will say for me, when I see the stunt people who are playing,
You can't
I
say,
can't-
that's what I mean.
they
Yeah.
are so dedicated
They are.
that it was actually quite scary, just them. So props to stunt folks because they really throw literally and figuratively throw their whole selves into it. So that was easy for me to be scared and have those jumps. And also David Schwimmer,
Just anytime he's around.
he's so great and he really gets into it. And it was really fun to play opposite him. So, you feed off of each other.
Yeah.
Oh my
There's
God.
a lot.
This is okay. It's like a funny moment, but like it's not like my funny moment. But like I got to do a scene with like this guy in this like full like prosthetic monster suit, and I just felt so bad because he looked so uncomfortable. He just looked so uncomfortable, and
rough.
he was just like walking to Crafty and just like kind of waddling a little bit, and it was just I was like, I'm just very glad that like I wasn't the one in the costume, which probably
was
sounds
in there for, like,
really selfish.
For a
I was in there for a
long time.
For
while.
so many hours, yeah. It was a really long shoot
Yeah.
too, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
it
all
was
wet.
just oh yeah, oh my God,
Just
yeah. It
glued
was
up.
also like covered in like
Yeah.
slimy goop and
You
stuff.
could see
so
like a
it-
trail of where he like walked across it.
yeah, so that was
That's
very
it.
funny to witness, but I probably shouldn't be saying that.
But I think in general too, like we had this really fun time because this show is scary. Like we have a lot of scary moments, but also like when we have group screams and like all this different stuff, we
God,
couldn't
yeah.
stop laughing,
It's hilarious.
having a great time with
Also,
it.
like acting with like nobody there. Like sometimes we had to react to monsters that were just like, just imagine it, guys. Like just imagine that this huge creature just is placed right in front of you, and you're like, I don't know.
yell at
It's
nothing.
the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
You kind of, to be honest, being an actor, you have to do a lot of work. And I think I kind of put myself in a place of like having a panic attack, I guess. That sounds really terrible.
Good idea.
But it gets your body, hyperventilating and like raising your soft palate and making your body tense. Yeah, but then they yell cut and you turn to your co-star and you're like, that's so stupid. We're so stupid. Like, what are you doing? And then someone hands you like a coffee and you're like, oh, I'm fine.
Filming some of the scariest parts of the show is so hard not to laugh because sometimes when you're fighting off a monster, it's in reality a human in a green bodysuit doing the funny, like they're like literally like this because they need to like do the movement. So it's hilarious doing like the scary scenes because you really have to use your imagination. And for some reason, they always got to put a human in a green bodysuit, which is just hilarious on its own. So yeah.
What was the like trick to getting like that good horror scream when there's like nobody there?
Oh goodness,
Oh
that's
wow.
a great question.
You
I
just
think
let it
I
out. You just
I went into my falsetto a little bit.
You hit a falsetto. I remember that. You hit a falsetto a couple times.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
No, I got to do like I feel like two like horror like gut-wrenching screams, which is, I feel like that's been on my bucket list. Just to full on like let it out. I remember I would
I remember that still haunts me. I remember you did that once. It was like really.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would scream into a pillow at my house just
Practice.
yeah, just to let it out, just to practice because you don't let out a gut-wrenching scream every day. So so that's how I prepared if you're interested.
Yeah, on the pillow. Your neighbors are like, "What is she going through? Like, what's happening?"
There are so many iconic Goosebumps villains in like the entire like 32-year franchise of this series. I was wondering if you personally could face off against an iconic Goosebumps villain, who would you want to like try to go up against? Who would you want to battle?
Good question.
I don't know. I mean, I can tell you these I could not have gone up against.
Yeah.
No.
I think you could take Anthony,
Oh yeah, for
As-
sure.
you know.
I could for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Slappy comes to mind. He's so small. What I would do, I would punt him across the room.
Yes,
think
drop kick
he's-
him.
Yeah, take care of the whole issue right there.
She would too. I would have you as a bodyguard any day.
Okay,
Wow.
the question is if we would survive, because
Yeah,
I don't think that we would. I feel like if we were up against like anything, or at least me, actually, let me speak for
no,
myself.
I'm with
Do
you
you guys
on
think
this.
that you
I'm
can
with
like,
you. I don't think no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
yeah,
No.
like even the monsters that we had to face in the series, I was like, I don't know how these characters are getting through this
Yeah.
because I would be dead.
I mean, I would like Slappy. I feel like that's like the main one, right? That guy scares me. And so I feel like that's why I would want to, because yeah, I feel like we had more monsters, but a puppet, no, it's scarier than some big monster for real.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to get to plug this. I mean, my mother is an audiobook narrator, and she narrated Night of the Living Dummy, which is cool, right? I mean, that's
Small world.
yeah,
That's
right.
like legacy. You remember?
I know a little. I mean, like, that was Slappy was season 1, but other than that, I mean,
No, fight them off for your mom in honor
Yeah.
of your mom.
my mom.
Yeah.
I think we had not to. I think we had some. There's particularly the monster. I'm not going to say to you guys, the monster that you and Francesca are dealing with in episode 3.
Yeah,
is really cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
So we'll have
idea.
to look out for it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't want to say what it is,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for your time. Congratulations. I cannot wait to see the rest of the season. I know people are going to love it.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. We
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Consider subscribing if you like this video and get even more entertainment news at popcultureplanet.net. See ya!